Hello and welcome into this week's bonus edition of Your Next Favorite Driver right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me tonight. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, welcome. This is a channel where we discuss lots of motorsports, namely NASCAR, ARCA, IndyCar, and Formula One. Those are the series that we cover right now. Eventually, we do plan to broaden that scope, but those are the series that we cover at the moment. Yes, I did say bonus Your Next Favorite Driver. This is actually the second Your Next Favorite Driver episode we have put up today. Earlier today, if you saw it, we featured Natalie Decker, and now we are continuing with the girl power theme today and featuring up-and-coming USAC superstar as well as a driver that is quickly rising through the stock car ranks as well. That would be Toni Breidinger. She is the winningest female driver in USAC history with 14 pavement wins, as well as being second overall in USAC's Speed 2 Western U.S. Pavement Midget Series in the driver standings both in 2014 and 2015. And then in 2016, she also went on to claim the Speed 2 Western U.S. Pavement Midget Series Championship. So, has very quickly risen through the ranks in the USAC series in the western portions of the United States, now trying to transition into stock car as she eventually does want to be in NASCAR. But we'll let her tell you that, and we'll get to our interview with her right now. Welcome back now to Your Next Favorite Driver. We are now joined by Toni Breidinger, driver for Venturini Motorsports here in the ARCA Racing Series and a USAC star as well. Toni, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. So, Toni, let's start out. This is a show where we introduce you to new fans that may not know you yet. So let's start out with your background. How did you get started in racing? Everybody's got that story. What's your story?
Yeah, so I started racing 9 years ago in go-karts. My dad took me and my sister up to a little go-karting school in Sonoma, California. We took a little class there a couple times, then we got our own go-kart and basically started from there.
Okay. So, and you've now moved into the USAC ranks now. Tell us a little bit about what you've done on the USAC side of things.
Yeah, so I've raced a lot of USAC midgets on asphalt. This year I'm trying to focus more on racing in the Silver Crown Series. So yeah, I'm just trying to work my way up in the USAC ladder system. Hopefully getting a top 10 next week when I'm racing would be really great. So yeah.
So what would you consider your biggest accomplishments up to this point?
I mean, I think being USAC's winningest female driver is probably my biggest accomplishment, so yeah.
Okay. It's a pretty good accomplishment to have, I think. So, how did you end up getting hooked up with a team like Venturini Motorsports, really probably the biggest team in the ARCA Racing Series? What's your story on how you got together with them?
Yeah, so I tested with them probably like about a year ago, and the test went really well, so like you can drive for us. Yeah, so basically that's kind of how it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, now let's look more at the future. We talked about the past, now let's talk about the future. You're 18 years old now. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? What is your ultimate goal? Where do you want to be when you're 28?
Ooh, 10 years. I definitely want to be a Cup Series driver.
Okay.
By that point, for sure. And also just be like successful in life and just in general, but definitely I want to be a NASCAR Cup Series driver by that point, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, looking forward to the rest of this season, you have a 3-race slate lined up with Venturini Motorsports in the ARCA Racing Series. What are those races, and where else can folks see you this year?
So all those races are in June. First race will be at Madison, and then the week after that, Gateway, and the week after that, Chicago. So they're all in a row. Basically, you can catch me at Silver Crown races, the pavement ones, and probably other USAC midget races. I mostly just focus on the pavement stuff, so any pavement USAC races I'll probably be at. So.
Okay. Now, lastly, before we let you go here, where can folks find you online, whether that be social media, website, whatever that might be?
So I'm on Instagram at Toni Breidinger, and I just got a Twitter about 5 minutes ago. And it's also Toni Breidinger, so yeah. I also have a Facebook page too. That's Toni Breidinger, just my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you heard that hot off the press. You can be one of her first followers on Twitter. All right, so Toni, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. As Toni mentioned, her 3-race slate with Venturini Motorsports includes Madison International Speedway June 15th, Gateway Motorsports Park June 22nd, and Chicagoland Speedway June 28th. All 3 of those races we will be at, so I'm sure we will be hearing lots from her on those weekends, and hopefully we will see some success out of her in those weekends as well. We want to thank Toni one more time for coming on tonight. It was a pleasure talking to her, and we wish her nothing but the best going forward. I'm sure it won't be the last time we hear from her here on RNN. So I think that will do it for us tonight on Your Next Favorite Driver. If you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. Hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated. And don't forget to support us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/racingnewsnow. It is not required by any means, but we do appreciate when you do help us out on there because it just helps us to continue to grow and give you better quality content into the future. So with that, this has been Your Next Favorite Driver, introducing tomorrow's superstars to you today. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.